Hey guys, this is New Balance presents Colors of the Game, and in this episode, we are supported by Team 11 as well as Kathmandu Coffee. A special thanks to Solti Hotel who have given us this venue to shoot not just one but two podcasts. In this episode, we talked with Hayden Walsh Jr., a part of West Indies A side, and who is eyeing his spot in the T20 World Cup in the upcoming World Cup that is about to happen. So, in this episode, we've talked about life, how he played for two countries, his bowling style, the Nepali audience, the Nepali climate to play, how difficult was it to play in Nepal, and more talked about cricket. So, the rest of these things, you can go and enjoy this podcast. So, how does it feel like you have that cricket in your blood? Father was a cricketer, now you are there, you're playing for your country. How does that feel?
Uh it feels it's a proud moment. I always grew up watching my dad play, watching my uncles play. Um, so to be the first Walsh to represent the West Indies team, it's always been an honor.
Your father was a left-handed batsman.
Yeah, he was a left-handed batsman, opening batsman. So I guess that's how I became a left-handed batter. Um, But I also grew up watching Wani and Brian Lara and those guys. So I think that's where I just trying to emulate my heroes and bat left-handed, bow leg spin.
So
Yeah,
which is your dominant hand?
my right hand.
You're actually a right-hander.
I'm actually a right-hander. Yeah, so I don't understand it because like me batting left hand, I would say I'm a right-handed left-hander. If you understand what I
Yeah,
mean.
I know.
Because my top hand is where I use all my work.
Yeah.
Because they have like left-handed left hand batters, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I can completely understand
Yeah,
you. You
yeah,
know why?
yeah.
I'm a left arm orthodox, right arm batsman.
But
So
but
I,
you use more of your left hand.
no, I use right and left both.
No, I mean when you're batting, would
Um,
you say you use more of your left hand to
it's the
bat?
right because I'm a right arm batsman, right? Bottom hand goes right. So
Mm,
bowling, it's always bowling, throw, everything. I it's very confusing with me
mm.
because the things you said, like if there's some repair to be done, I can use my both hand, and left is the one that's pretty stable. But in the meantime, I can also use my right.
Right. Because why I say that, right? Because growing up batting, I had to actually develop
Hmm.
like cross batted shots because this was always my weaker hand. So
Hmm.
cross-batted shots were so like not hard, but I would more go to the like playing up in the V. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
completely understand you. And maybe for the first time, I'm having someone in colors of the game that can actually I can relate to that.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah, I actually grew up watching Wasim Akram, the Pakistan
Oh
fast
yeah, yeah,
bowler, and
yeah.
I think maybe that the left hand came along with me. It
Oh
always
yeah.
happens.
So how come you didn't bowl?
Bat right.
How come you didn't bowl left arm seam?
I used to at first. So
Uh,
what happened was there was this school level selection.
yeah,
I used to bowl pace at the beginning.
yeah.
I had the bowling action of Alan Donald. I loved Alan Donald. Right? So I got smashed for three sixes, three in a row.
Oh no.
And then later on, I just did quite good fielding. So I got shortlisted for another selection.
Okay.
That time it struck my head that I had good turn with my bowling.
Oh,
So I
okay.
just went on to bowl and I took a hat trick there.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Well,
And since then, I've never stopped bowling
yeah, you just can't
spin.
switch after that, no?
But I have a good arm action when it comes to pace.
Mm, okay. Nice, nice, nice.
Those are the stories that how we start doing things, right?
Yeah, yeah, like it's just, it's just from your heroes,
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important to have like youth around the cricketing scene because they grew up watching their heroes and just trying to be like their heroes, and then bam, before you know it, you have like uh what Rishabh Pant
Yeah.
or even a Rohit Paudel,
Ah.
you know.
So, how did cricket start for you?
Yeah, as I said, I grew up as my dad, my uncles. So at one point in the, I'm from Antigua,
Yeah.
so at one point on the Antigua team, like they had four brothers playing for the Antigua cricket team.
Mhm.
So you know, what I almost had no choice but to play cricket because I just grew up watching my dad play cricket, my uncles play cricket, and then it's just cricket, cricket, cricket. And my dad he also had his cricket academy.
Mhm.
So every Saturday I would obviously be at the cricket academy playing cricket, and eventually I started playing youth cricket stuff, and I just grew into this big, massive cricket fanatic.
So, why spin bowling?
Yeah, my dad actually told me at one time he was trying to teach me how to bowl seam up,
Mhm.
but then I always used to do this, like at the point of the release. He
Ah.
said I was doing this, so he was like, "Okay, well you just do that." So, but then I also remember watching Shane Warne and the battles with him and Brian Lara and the West Indies. I just enjoy watching the art and just wanting to do that.
Why I'm asking this is West Indies is a country that has produced some amazing fast bowlers over the years in the history. Courtney Walsh, Ambrose, everyone, those were the bowlers that
Yeah,
grew up watching, right?
yeah, for sure. But I think also like I used to be more of a batter.
Mm.
I like age group stuff. I used to bat like 3, 4, 5. Um, but then like coming out of the age group stuff, everyone used to bat, and for me to like make the regional team, my dad was like, you know what, you probably need to just try bowl, just bowl a little bit more leg spin because everyone bowls fast, everyone bats, so I I guess he wanted me to be unique in a way.
Also, I think it's the advantage with the spinners is apart from the countries of the Indian subcontinent, other countries find it a bit difficult to play the spinners.
Yeah, for sure. You know, especially with with the bit of mystery that I have, I find once I go into like club cricket and stuff, it's just a big X factor. So I just stuck with it. Trust me, it was very hard. Um, there were times where I was like, no, I don't want to bowl any leg spin. It's too hard. Um, but I really you know I'm happy with myself for sticking it out because there definitely days where I just wanted to give up, and you know here I am today.
So I think when you started playing domestically against Leeward Island, you played for Leeward Island, right?
Yeah,
Your hometown, I guess.
yeah,
So I think it was your third match that you took 4 wickets and scored 47 runs as well.
yeah. Third, yeah. Thing is, either my third or second match.
It was your third match.
Third match.
Yeah.
Yeah, against Trinidad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I remember that game. I don't know. It just came out very well that day, and as I told you, the leg spin, especially with a good googly, it just gives you just a little bit of X factor because everyone always sees the seamers, the off breaks and
True.
the left armers, but once you start doing that, just kind of puts a little bit of mystery out there.
I think amongst all spin bowling, Googly is the most tricky one.
Yeah, it's tricky. Um, because even if someone I hear when I'm in the nets, the batter's like, "Oh yeah, I picked that," but you gotta play it. Yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta
So
connect.
you gotta play it.
Yeah.
Like everyone would, the batters would be, facing up for a leg break, but then when the goalie comes, they don't adjust,
Mm.
so they're still in the leg break
Mm.
stance or whatever it is,
Mhm.
but they're not playing for the googly. So you know that's just I love the art. I love the art. I even love talking to other leg spinners because all the leg spinners are different. Even though we do this, that we are totally different types of leg spinners. You got leg spinners who just slide the ball, like Bishnoi. He just slides it like that. More lots of googlies. You have Rashid Khan, who is like just into the pitch, mostly googlies. Um, Ishodi, he's like just a little bit more loopy, you know, away and then probably just a little bit in, but I just enjoy talking to them, picking their brains about how they go about their craft. So it's really an art I enjoy doing.
It's so interesting when I talk about spin, because maybe I think being a spinner, I think I maybe know a bit more about spin. So it's more about, I really love when I used to play. I played at a very modest level. So when I used to play, it was all about the flight for me. I
Yeah,
could get my turn and the rotation, and that gave
yeah,
me the perfect turn as well.
yeah,
So that helps, right?
yeah. I've been playing around with even bowling quicker, yes, but quicker, but you gotta spin the ball at a certain pace. I find when you like get too quick, it doesn't spin and you just become medium pace.
True.
You know, even if you're not spinning it, you still want to get that up and down. Some spinners they want to bowl quick, but it's just like this,
Yeah.
and
Flatter.
that's just like darts. But I still want to bowl quick, but I want to get that up and down. That just makes a batsman think just a little bit more.
When we're talking about the culture of cricket in West Indies, all the countries, so there was a time when everyone was more influenced with the basketball thing that was happening in the America. And I once read a news that the newer generation, maybe after the 2005s or something, that a lot of youngsters were more into NBA rather than cricket. That ever hit you at any point?
Um, Actually, not really, because I was just so engulfed in cricket. Um, the most I actually went to school in England, and the most influence from other sports I had was like rugby,
Hmm.
field hockey.
You played rugby.
I played rugby,
Wow.
yeah, field hockey and that stuff. But you know, there was a time I remember I was just messing around on the tennis court at school, and then my coach was like, "Hey, Hayden, we're gonna hit the nets," and I was just like, "Okay, tennis finished. Let's go play some cricket."
Well,
So
that's a good thing, I guess. You get to know all the other sports, and there's so many things you can actually learn and apply to your game from other sports.
yeah, definitely. I really like advocate for even if the your kid wants to play cricket, let him play other sports. Let him play hockey. Let him play like tennis, golf. I'm actually into golf big time now.
Uh-huh. You just came back from a golf session right now.
Yeah, yeah, big time. And I find like golf has helped my power hitting so much right now. It's I wish I took it up so much earlier. Like it's amazing how I'm not so good at golf, but whatever I have learned and achieved from golf, it has taken my batting to, just notch it up a little bit. So imagine if I started playing from like school days, I'll probably be batting a lot more.
Wow. You reminded me of a movie by Adam Sandler. I think it was called Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore,
You
yeah,
remember that movie,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
He's a
yeah,
hockey player, later
yeah,
on goes into golf.
yeah,
That's really interesting movie.
yeah, yeah. I mean, probably a little bit, not as much, but I don't take a step and then whack it. But
And he tells people to make noise, right? It's a good
I'm
movie.
I'm not as good as Happy Gilmore, but
It's a fun movie
I
to watch.
enjoy my golf though.
So now this is getting interesting. You were from a different country. You studied in the England, right?
Yeah, I went to high school in
Ah.
England. Yeah, on a cricket scholarship. There's like a just like a regular. I don't know if you know lashings, but anyways,
Where is it?
in the UK.
Place called Lashings.
No, it's a charity.
Ah.
It's called Lashings. Um, the owner is David Fold, and he had a program where he would bring an Antiguan over to the UK
Hmm.
on a cricket scholarship,
Wow.
full cricket scholarship.
You got that one.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
many
yeah.
years in high school? Like 2 years, 3 years?
We're there.
Yeah.
Uh, 3 years, about 3 years. I started in third form and finished in fifth form.
I think that's for a youngster. That's really good because England is the country that's
Yeah,
created
definitely.
cricket,
Yeah,
and the village cricket and the county cricket is amazing culture there.
yeah. It is different, man. Like when you go there, is you can just see all the history in the cricket, and you know all the legacies that has been left behind. So to be a part of that was truly special.
Did you try for any county or something?
Yeah, I was actually trying out for Kent. I
Mm.
think it was like it's a youth team, like under 17s. But I had school. I also had to like you know I think it was something with the residency or something.
Ah.
But it just didn't really work out. I actually ended up leaving after fifth form, so that just went out the window.
So which year was this when you were in high school?
This was from 2006 until 2008 or 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 2009. Yeah, yeah.
And now, this is what I say it was interesting. So you're from another country, went to the UK to study, and then you went on to play for the United States of America. Now, how did that happen?
It's, it was I don't know. So I was at the time I was drafted with Barbados franchise team, local team. Yeah, I was with them. I played a few games here and there, but I wasn't really happy with the amount of game time that I had. Um, so I spoke to Jason Holder one time, and I was like, what do I need to do to, you know, get higher, get to the top? He was like, you really just need to get some more experience.
Mm.
Doesn't make sense that you're just practicing,
True.
and you're just not like learning like on the field stuff. So I was just like trying to find, opportunities around, and I saw that somewhere. I saw that the U.S. they were trying to find players. They were trying to. I think they had like combines and talent searches to find you know, new players because they were trying to actually qualify for the World Cup.
Ah.
Is it last year? The World Cup that
USA?
yeah, there was the 50 over World Cup in India. It was last year, right?
I guess.
Yeah, it was
I'm a bit
last year.
confused now as well.
Well, yeah, they were that was their big goal,
Ah.
because their goal was to, be in a World Cup and bring cricket to the U.S. market. So, for them to bring cricket to the U.S. market, they've got to be playing, on the big stage. Um, so that was like the build up. But how I actually got into it, um, I was with the St. Kitts Patriots CPL team,
Yeah.
and what the CPL and USA had, they had a partnership where you had to pick a USA player, um,
Hmm.
a part of your CPL team.
Okay.
So my team had the USA captain. So we were on the bench a lot, and one day I went to him. I was like, I have a US passport. And he was like, really?
Ah.
After the game, he like phoned Pupu Desanaika,
Ah.
phoned him. He told him, I have this guy who, he's on the CPL team, has a US passport. We need to get him in. And then after that, I was just drafted straight into the USA team.
It's like the universe conspires.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's a lucky. Let's not say like it. That's a coincidence that you happen to have a passport. So
Well, I don't know if it's coincidence. It- Probably. Because the way how I got my passport, I was born in the U.S. Virgin Islands.
ah,
I don't know if you know where that is.
I know, I know.
I was born in the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Okay.
My mom just went there just to, have me there so that I can have a passport,
Ah,
so that she doesn't have to go through, you know, the all the visa, requirements and paperwork and that stuff for me to get citizenship.
so that was planned before you were born.
Yeah, yeah. But all the time, like I was always like, USA doesn't play cricket. My mom once wanted me to come to the US to live, and I was like, Mom, they don't play cricket. I cannot, I cannot make a living out of that in the US.
Mm.
So I mean, for that to come up, and I mean, is also a coincidence,
Sure.
I think.
So I think you played the Division 3 with USA.
Yeah, I started with the Division 3, and then we moved up to Div 2, and then we got the ODI status shortly after that.
And you debuted for US against UAE or Oman. It was UAE, I guess.
No, it was in Oman. It
Ah,
was against either Kenya or Uganda.
Kenya, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's Kenya.
Let me
Yeah,
check on that.
Kenya.
It's UAE, I guess.
Oh no, that's the
T20.
T20. Yeah,
T20, yeah.
T20. Yeah. But
T20.
I mean, for like my first USA game was in Oman versus Kenya.
Ah,
Yeah.
how was that experience playing for USA?
I don't know. I didn't really think much of it. Like I thought I was playing 4-day cricket at the time, so I was already a professional. Not on the big stage, but I was already playing cricket regularly, practicing, training, doing all of my stuff. So I had a thought that it would have been something similar to club cricket in the UK, where you just have a pro come in and he would just like take over. So that was my point of view of it. I just thought that I could just go in and kind of bully it. um, I wouldn't say I did, but I did pretty okay. And then, as I got into it more, I was like, wow, this is really like, you know, bigger than I thought. Like when we start playing teams like UAE, we start playing teams like Namibia, Oman. I was like, wow, these teams are good. These like I was like, these teams can actually probably beat a West Indies team if they turn up on the right day. That is how I saw those teams as I got into it. But before, like, going into it, I was like, I'm just gonna go and just boss this.
So after the whole USA thing, you played a quite while there. Then how did you switch here to the West Indies again?
So, not a crazy story.
We'd love to listen.
So me and the USA, we kind of fell out. Well, things kind of started breaking up a lot in the USA camp. Like, they got rid of Pubudu, who actually got me into it.
Mhm.
They got rid of a couple other guys, but also they also promised that they were gonna offer some good contracts where that I could be a full-time professional for the USA cricket team,
Mhm.
and I wouldn't have to like play any cricket for the Leeward Islands or Barbados or whoever it is. And that would be after we got ODI status. Excuse me. So after we got ODI status, contracts were offered. I wasn't really too happy, so I was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna take the contract. I'm just gonna freelance and do my own thing. When you guys sort out like the right contracts,
Ah.
you know, I'll be available. But I'm just gonna just go pay for play. So I got picked into the CPL Barbados CPL team. Remember, they had to pick a USA cricketer, so I got picked as a USA cricketer. Um, at the time there was a series against, I think it was Oman and Namibia, and they were like, oh, we have a series against Oman and Namibia. Can you like, you know, we would we've selected you to play. I was like, nah, I have CPL. CPL, it's a bigger stage. I
Yeah.
want to get myself out there. I don't have any contract. I just need to kind of like, you know, help myself a little bit. Um, so like, I started that year. Sandeep Lamichani was with that team.
Ah.
He played a couple of games and then he left. But before like he left, I was like, damn, I'm not playing. Really need to get on the stage, and you really need to like show myself. I was a little bit worried, but then I think, it's the first, no, I think it was like the second or third game that I got five, 5 for 19 against Trinbago Knight Riders. You had the Pollards, you had Jimmy Neesham, all of them got 5 wickets against them, and from there I I was the leading wicket taker in the CPL from 8 games. I got 22 wickets from 8 games,
Wow.
and I just that was just my claim to fame. And from that, I got drafted straight into the West Indies team, and I've been playing. I played up until like 2022, and then I just been in and out a little bit.
I think you're just the 14th player to play for two nations.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That is part of my research.
Who's the 13th? Do you know?
No, I don't know. I didn't went for the details.
Uh,
Just saw that you were the 14th player.
wow.
That's really nice to know actually the culture of two different nations. Even though geographical they are close, right?
Yeah.
West Indies being let's say 4-time world champion so
Yep,
far,
for
right?
sure. Yeah.
USA was just starting up, just want to grow in cricket, and we can see players like Unmuk Chand and Harmeet Singh. They're playing for the US team now. So
Yeah, yeah, it's good that we're still, you know, they're still looking for players. They're still gathering, their stock and still building their culture. So I think it's very exciting for them to, even for them to be playing in this World Cup. And I speak to a lot of people, in the US now, and they're like, "Oh, we don't play cricket in the US." I'm like, "Yes, you do." And they're like, "Really?" Yes. I was like, "Yeah, you actually have a World Cup playing there this year." They're like, "Wow, I got to look at it."
this same happened with football when the World Cup was held in the US in 1994. They said a lot of people in the US didn't know that the football World Cup was actually happening there.
Really?
Yeah, because
Wow.
they have a world of their own. They have basketball, they have baseball, they have
Yep.
the American football.
Yep.
I think they feel a different world. But now looking at how things are changing, like they have the minor league cricket and the major league cricket,
Yeah.
that's changing the thing, right?
Yeah. I think it's also the diversity building as well. You have a lot of you know Asians going over to the US, and they're bringing cricket into that country. You also have the West Indians, even like the Europeans, like the English and the Aussies. They're moving over as well. So I think that building diversity is just like growing the game so big, and I think is really exciting.
True. The World Cup happening now in the US, it's going to be interesting to see what's going to be the wicket like, what the crowd is going to look like, right?
I think it's going to be big. I was in the Major League last year with Seattle Hawkers,
Ah,
and every single game it was packed.
that's where Harmeet played, right? Harmeet Singh.
Yeah, Hamid
Ah,
was with my team,
ah.
and every single game we had like almost filled out stadiums. People were flying in from like New York, and people were flying in from LA just to see like the big names playing. So I think you're gonna have like a lot of like the crowds are gonna be so big.
So, you and Harmeet, I think you have a spell bowling together. Do
Yeah.
you bowl together?
No, I actually didn't play any games,
Ah,
but you know, I, I was off the field, advising him, and
ah,
I would, watch him as well. So he's a very good bowler.
ah.
Yeah, I actually never seen him bowl before that, but he's a very good bowler. I love the way how he changes his pace. He uses a lot of guile, so he gets that up and down. He doesn't like
Yeah.
dart it. He uses that up and down, and I really like it.
I got to work with him a year back in the Nepal T20.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for Lumini All Stars. He was
Okay.
there, so was a good company and
Oh,
a very
nice,
good person as well.
nice, nice. Hey, is the Nepal T20 still happening? Or
Uh, they're planning to do it again because since there's new board, new elections, so it might take a bit time to settle down. But we'll definitely Nepal. The love you saw, the love for cricket in Nepal, right?
yeah,
So we
definitely.
definitely
Yeah,
deserve a
you
T20
need
of
to.
our
You
own.
need to.
So the
You need.
can is working on it.
Yeah, I need to, man. Like, just get some lights up at the ground.
Yeah,
And you can play two games and all that stuff.
true. Also, a few years back, I think just before COVID, it was Chris Gale was about to come.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was looking after a team. I said in the previous podcast that I was in the management of this team called Pokhara Rhinos.
Mm.
So that's where Keswick William came later on.
Okay.
So the previous year, when it got cancelled, it was Chris Gale who was supposed to come.
Okay.
So had all arrangements done for him, but later on we found out we went to another city for the whole practice and everything, but
Right.
it got cancelled, postponed because of the COVID and everything. So
Right, right, right,
almost,
right.
and also I told in the previous podcast, I was so close to working with Herschel Gibbs as well.
Okay. Nice, nice.
So it was an opportunity. Even Nepal T20, as we said, got to work with Pipul Sharma and even This is a player from West Indies. He was the opener, the big opener. His name
Cornwall.
Cornwall. Yes, Cornwall was about to come, but the he was already in, but the tournament got shifted a few months later,
Okay.
so he couldn't come.
Okay, okay.
Or people were really excited to see that.
That's my boy. We grew up playing together.
Ah, really?
Yeah, he plays for Leeward Islands, but we've been playing for Antigua from since we were like 9 years old.
Wow.
Yeah,
Massive hitter of the ball.
yeah,
Just stands and delivers.
yeah, yeah. Don't tell him I got him out though.
Okay. Someday I might be lucky enough to get him in my podcast. So
Yeah,
we'll definitely be talking about that. So talking, let's come back now to Nepal. So how has this series been for you?
yeah. Yeah. I didn't play the first game. Second game, it was a little bit of here and there, but I I started once I got the pace of the wicket and how to bowl on the wicket. I saw my returns and I enjoy it because I'm a spinner. I always heard that from the USA guys. Down there it spins a lot,
True.
and so coming here, I thought that I would do okay. I wouldn't, be carted around so badly. But yeah, I had a feeling that it would suit me just a little bit. But I'm enjoying it though. I'm enjoying bowling on the wicket, enjoying the challenges. Even if we've been winning the last three games. Bowling to the Nepali batsmen, they definitely know their conditions. So you know, bowling to them in their conditions, and you know, a few times I got hit. Yeah, but it's a challenge. That's why we play cricket.
How do you find the conditions here in Nepal?
To be honest, it's a little tough for us because it's at altitude.
Ah.
Yeah, and we're mostly at sea level. So the altitude, like I remember the first practice session, I bowled and did my feeling, and I was like, am I unfit? It was so hard to breathe. Like your chest was it just felt like your chest was just breaking. Um, it's a little tough. I'm getting used to it. I'm managing it. Some of the guys are still kind of struggling. But we're we're getting better.
A lot of players. That's the main thing. As a commentator, the fact I need to consider is the how much the players have acclimatized to the weather, right?
Yeah, we haven't had much time to acclimatize. We literally landed, rest, practice, play. You need like at least a week, no? We had like 2 days.
2 days. I think that's part of the game, traveling all around.
Yeah, that's part of it right now. People don't want to be like waiting around, spending money, and you just chilling. They just want you to come play and just get acclimatized as fast as you can.
Yeah.
We need to see you play.
I think that also happens with the franchise cricket that you go play all around the world. You got short time, you need to acclimatize, you need to play good, if you're a bowler, you need to take wickets, get the run done. If you're a batter, get off. They expect you to start hitting from the very first ball for the
Yep,
first game.
that's your job. You gotta figure it out quickly. But yeah, it has its challenge. I think even before like since COVID, I think that is where that has been more of a thing now. Like before COVID, you had time to go to a country. You probably get like a week or two to
Mhm.
acclimatize, and you play. But now during COVID, everything is just like play, travel, play, travel. Like it's just so back to back, and like it can be really hard, but it's your job.
And don't you miss home at times when you're traveling back and forth?
Yeah, honestly, right now I miss my home. I actually, when I was leaving home probably about a month ago, I only I only accounted for like 2 weeks being away from home. But then I got a call is the day where I was leaving for the 4 day tournament, saying, you got selected to go to Nepal, and you know I actually traveled on my birthday here.
Ah, really?
Yeah, my birthday was spent on a plane.
Ah, so happy belated birthday
Thank
on
you,
that note.
thank you. So I mean, as I say, it's a job.
How do you find the players of Nepal? Since you're from a country that plays Test cricket, the red ball cricket, we don't much play red ball cricket, right? It's I think 10, 15 years it's been we only practiced. Even in the local scenario, we only have the white balls now. So, what's the difference that you see in Nepali players in that perspective?
um, I actually think that's the I think that you guys, even without the red ball aspect of the game, I think you guys are really doing pretty well. Um, not sh- not sure if you have like an academy or what, or you know whatever you have on the ground here, but it's the white ball aspect. I like to see it. I like to see the innovativeness there. They're thinking maybe if they had that red ball, instinct in them, it would help, just for the little finer details of the game, of the T20 game.
Any player in particular from Nepal? A few players that has impressed you in person?
Yeah, definitely Rohit. Hey,
Ah.
last game when he was batting, I was like, you know what, this guy is really good. At the first game, we were, yeah, he scored 100. We were like, yeah, we could have bowled to him a little better.
Mm.
Third game, he scored. Second game, he scored runs. Third game, he was out. Then the last game, he came out. He scored some runs again. I was like, oh, this guy is so good. Yeah, he's really impressed me. The other guys have been playing good supporting roles. Um, I think maybe that's where the 4 day aspect comes into it now, where you get guys who are more skillful to, like, you know you move the ball a little bit more. Um, but that's the experience that those guys don't have. We have more experience playing 4 day and other regional cricket.
So before you came to know that there was this tournament about to happen in Nepal, did you know about Nepal in particular?
Yeah, actually, yes. I um i i was with Sandeep, and he
Ah,
spoke to me a
ah,
lot about Nepal.
okay.
He told me, when you come to Nepal to play cricket, it's gonna be so much people. I was like, who watches cricket in Nepal, man? But coming to see, like, almost all the games were pretty full.
You love the
It's
crowd.
yeah, it's unbelievable.
We have a crowd that has impressed ICC.
Yeah, it's
Like so there was this almost a year back when UAE was touring Nepal.
yeah.
So I think it was the League Two, yeah, if I'm not wrong. So UAE was there. So every time the UAE fielders were in the boundary, the Nepali players would make a chant out of it and just tease the players. That did that ever happen to you this time?
Yeah, yeah, I actually try to interact a little bit more.
Uh-huh.
Like, I usually, like, take my cap off and wave to them, and they love it. So I try not to shy away, and other guys are like a little shy and they don't look back.
Mm.
I look back and wave and blow kisses and all that stuff.
Did
So,
they
and
did
they
they make
love
a
it.
song for you?
No, they haven't made a song, but they well, whenever I go on the boundary, they always try to, like, get me to interact.
So how about our ground? How do you like? That's the only ground for now we have. right? The international ground. We have another one in a different venue, but about the TU ground, what's your thought on that?
Yeah, it's a nice little arena. The ball travels very fast. Uh, for us, who you know but mainly for sixes and all that stuff, we're gonna like it a little bit better. The wicket is, it can be flat, can turn. Um, it's a nice little venue. It has a potential of upgrading and all that stuff. So I think it's a nice little venue to start with.
Because we all Nepalese always talk about it's something that gives vibe of the Caribbean
Yeah,
grounds that do
yeah.
not have stands. South Africa, New Zealand, Australia, where people just sunbathe and watch the game.
Yep, yep. I I was really impressed by, there's some trees at the back, and to see like guys sitting in the trees and that stuff, it reminds me of the old days of cricket in the West Indies. Like you'd go to the Antigua Recreation Ground and you'd see people like in the trees, like outside, watching the cricket. And that, no, we have a big stadium now, so you gotta pay to get in, and there's no trees and all that stuff. So it just reminds me of those old days.
Always miss that factor.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So we have this another venue called Mulpani. So the Mulpani ground, it's near to area where there are a lot of houses, and one I think it's 4 5 stories
Is
tall.
that the one near the golf course?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I went there today. Well, I
Yeah.
didn't go to the ground, but I went to the golf course today.
You went to Gokarna.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So what people there's a big building and there's a restaurant on the top. So people go and pay to the restaurant and watch the game there from there.
Oh, really? Wow, that restaurant must
Yeah.
have some good business then.
I think because see we first played our World Cup in 2014, right?
Yeah.
So I think before that, even as a 90s kid when I was growing up, we had a big cricketing culture here in Nepal. Especially, you'll be surprised with this. We have a lot of fans of Pakistan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and India, Pakistan, India, South Africa,
Oh,
Australia.
okay, right, right,
A lot of
right,
fans
right,
there.
right, right. Nice, nice.
And my uncle, he was a big fan of West Indies. He used to
Okay.
tell me that when West Indies won the World Cup for the second time, uh, the 60 overs World Cup, I think
Yeah,
that was 60 overs
yeah,
then.
yeah.
So he used to listen to it on the radio. That was the old drill.
Oh,
So
okay.
since then, I told you before the podcast, I have a special relation with that. And uh, my second test that I witnessed on TV
Oh,
was India
okay.
tour of West Indies.
Okay.
Carl Hooper bowling, Brian Lara. Yeah, I think Walsh was also playing it then.
Yeah, he would have been playing.
They
Yeah.
must be a big influence.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Like, you know, having those. So, from Antigua, you have Curtly Ambrose, Sir Viv Richards. Sorry, Sir Curtly Ambrose, Sir Viv Richards, Sir Andy Roberts, Sir Richie Richardson. I think you probably have like 15 West Indian players. So they were the pioneers. They put Antigua on the map when it comes to cricket. So every time you see them, they it's an honor for me to be being around them.
Also, it's criminal not to talk about your influence of Shane Warne that we were mentioning.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just love watching Wani and to watch him spin it. There's one time where I would literally just watch the ball of the century almost every day
Yes.
and try to like I would try to do it. I would try to like spin the ball from outside leg and hit off stump.
Ah,
So I mean,
you have a similar bowling action to Shane Warne, if I'm
yeah,
not wrong, right?
yeah.
Yes.
Well, that is why I've gone through action changes
Mhm.
and all that. I first started with this.
Mm.
Then I started Pubudu Desnaika got me to kind of run in a little bit. I more have like a skiddier action. Um, so I would just kind of load here, just shot and just fire it in, and then I would develop like a double pump, and then I don't know what happened. I just went back to this, and I think I like this because it feels more natural to me, and I can think the problem that I had was bowling with pace, but now I'm stronger and fitter. I can do this and generate as much pace as I want. So I've just stick to this.
So as of now, the team hasn't been announced for the T20 World Cup, right? Everybody's in contention. So what's your mind thinking about that? What
Uh
let's say you got your name there in the list, and what's I think you already have a plan when you have your name there. You're gonna play the World Cup. So what's gonna be the plan?
well, for me
Yeah,
in the World Cup,
yeah.
if I play, I mean, I'm not sure if it happens, it happens. I'm happy with the way that I'm bowling now. I understand my craft a lot more. I understand, if things goes wrong, what I need to do or what what was going wrong. And is very mental. So I try not to think so far ahead. I'm a guy who I just think about today.
That's lovely.
you know, Tomorrow, yeah, it's gonna come. Once it comes, I'll deal with that. But today, I'm gonna play golf, or whatever it
Just
is.
like Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, today I'm just gonna deal with today. If it happens, it
It was a wonderful session. I think you're hungry as well. You just came back from your
happens.
golf session.
Actually, talking about cricket, I'm not hungry anymore.
I know. So I think the music's also a bit disturbing us. So I always end it on a high note. So thank you so much for managing your time,
Yep. Thank you
Mr.
for
Walsh
having me.
Jr.
Thank you for having me. And I really would like to thank the Nepali cricket and all the Nepalese people for having me and being so hospitable to me. And I would love to come again.
So hope you the our hospitality from Nepal takes you around. Saurabh, your I think
Oh
liaison
yeah,
officer.
yeah, he's a good
Hope he
guy.
takes you around places. I've told him to take you guys to different near places.
Well, I've been to the main place,
Where?
golf course.
Ah, that's your thing.
Yeah, so I mean, it was actually a really nice experience. Saw the little monkeys.
Mm,
I didn't really get to see the deer,
yeah,
but it was a nice little track. And hopefully when I come again, I'll bring my clubs.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Right, thank you so much. I don't want to keep you here for a longer time because you're tired. You have a game tomorrow as well. So thank you and all the very best for the squad.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome.
Yeah.